This is the new Pace 4. Yes, Aventon's Pace 500 is in its 4th generation, and this bike just got a whole lot smarter and a lot more secure. Let's take a look at some of the new features. The display has moved over to the left side and yes, has data connectivity thanks to Aventon's ACU, which means this bike has GPS tracking. You can set up geofences or boundaries on a map where this bike is allowed or not allowed to ride. And you can also get updates right on your phone with unexpected movement alerts, and you can remotely lock this bike. Thanks to Aventon's wheel lock, meaning nobody's gonna ride away on your bike. They're gonna have to pick it up and carry it. And there's no more key for the battery. You can now unlock it through the display or the app. One of my favorite features is Ride Tune through the Aventon app, which lets you fully customize all 3 riding modes to your liking. And those are just some of the big things. I'll cover the rest in this review. I'll also walk around the bike to give you an up-close look at all the components. Then we'll take the Pace out for a ride to see how it performs and explore some of the security features. And then we'll wrap up as always with some third-person riding footage. I'll give you the pros and cons and my overall thoughts on the Pace 4. But before all that, let's take a closer look. Aventon has gone all in on smart features for security and customized performance. We started to see them go this direction with the Abound SR. That's their utility e-bike. That was the first model to have the ACU, which enables that 4G connectivity. And then they leaned in harder with the Abound LR. That's their long rack cargo e-bike. And the Level 3, their commuter model, with offering Ride Tune. And these features offer peace of mind where you can just look at your phone and see exactly what's going on with your bike. And you can customize the riding performance to your liking, giving you control over the power. Aventon is one of the biggest e-bike brands in the US with over 1,800 bike shops in their dealership network, which makes it that much easier to find a local shop for test rides, expert advice, and service. And they still offer their premium look. This is a gravity cast frame and they have their smooth welds and premium paint jobs. And you'd think that these big updates would come with a big price increase, but it's actually only $200 more than what the Pace 3 is priced at. Its launch price is $17.99. But if you want to check out current pricing or any sales going on, you can scan the QR code on your screen. And if after watching this review you think you're going to pick up the Pace 4 and you want to support our channel, we do have an affiliate link down in the description. Using that when you go to make your purchase is free for you and it really helps out the channel. It makes content like this possible. Thank you so much for your support. And if you think you're going to opt for the bike shop experience, just send us an email. We can still get credit. I'll put an address down in the description as well. The Pace 4 has 3 color options. You can get it in flint, which is black. You can get it in mica, which is in kind of grayish white. And you can also get it in blue steel, which is this color you see here. And for you Zoolander fans, I promise you this bike can turn left. This bike has a payload capacity of 300 pounds and it has an advertised weight of 53 pounds. Why don't we weigh it from the scale and see how close the actual weight is? And it looks like with the battery, we're coming in at 58.2 pounds. And without the battery, it's coming in right around 50 pounds. This bike only comes in a step-through frame, but you can get it in 2 different sizes. There's small and medium, which fits riders from 4'11" up to 5'9". And then you can get it in large or extra large that fits riders from 5'7" up to 6'1". It has a standover height of 17 inches, so it is very easy to step over. Now I'm a 6'1" rider, so I'm at the top end of the scale. So I have the seat at its minimum insertion point, and I can get full leg extension. Now let's walk around the bike and get a closer look at these components. No change to the brakes, 2-piston Tektro hydraulic disc brakes with 180mm Tektro rotors. Same setup on the back. It's a bolt-on wheel. And then the tire is from Innova. It's 27.5 by 2.1 inches. And you have a reflective sidewall. And it has a street tread. And it has a rigid fork. These are the mounting points for optional fenders. And this is Aventon's wheel lock. I mentioned you can lock it through the display or the app. Aventon does a really nice job with their cable management routed through the frame. The Aventon badge up front. Then it has Aventon's signature lighting, a very bright headlight. Then you have running lights integrated into the seat stays, and of course turn signals. And say goodbye to the swept back handlebars and hello to the BMX style handlebars, which makes it a lot easier to mount accessories. This is a new phone mount we have at our shop. It's universal for large and small phones. You just slide it in and clamp it shut. Very secure. You can also angle it and switch it to a landscape view, and it spins 360 degrees. And because you can tilt the BMX style handlebars back, it does not have an adjustable stem anymore. And then on those handlebars, we have Tektro hydraulic brake levers. There are no motor cutoffs, a big reason why the taillights aren't brake actuated. Then rubber ergonomic locking grips, a left-hand thumb throttle, and then on the right side, we have a Shimano trigger shifter, 8 speeds. And then we have Aventon's left-mounted display. It is smaller than the center-mounted display, but I think it caters well to people that like distraction-free riding. In the upper left corner, we have time, and right next to that, we have bars for our data connectivity, and next to that is our location services, and then upper right is our battery readout with percentage. Then there's a meter that indicates how much power you're drawing from the motor. Then we have speed underneath, and then our riding mode right next to that. You have 3 modes to work with: Eco, Sport, and Turbo. To turn on the lights, hold the pedal assist up button, indicator there. And it is quite bright. It does have a walk mode, just hold pedal assist down. And then to use the turn signals, you have your left and right arrows here. They will turn off automatically after a few seconds. There we go. And it gives you more information if you hit the power button. You can see your trip distance and your trip time. You can also see your average trip speed and max trip speed. Then you have your odometer and total time on the bike. You have your total average speed and your estimated range. That does change depending on the assist level that you're in. And then you're back home. Now, there are some more advanced settings if you hold the pedal assist up and down button at the same time. You can clear your trip data. This is where you release the battery. I'll show you that when we go over the battery. And this is where you lock your bike. So you just hit the power button and then it will lock. Hit the power button to unlock it. You can change your unit here. And then brightness here, you have 5 different levels of brightness. You can set your timeout here anywhere from off to 99 minutes. You can set a password here so you can lock people out of the system. You can get your system info, set your date and time, and then connect to app, which we will do right now. So let's click on that. It'll bring up a QR code. And I did already download my app, but you can get it for Apple or Android devices. Let's hit pair. And we'll scan that QR code and we'll give it a name. We'll do Pace 4 Ebike Escape and then hit pair. And there we go, we're in. So on the main screen, you'll see some basic information about the bike. You can turn your bike on and off from here. You can lock or unlock your bike and you can turn the lighting on. And then you can also get some information about your battery. You can change your pedal assist mode from here. You can also see the GPS location right under that. Then you also get some of the information you can see on the screen as well. And then underneath that is service, so you can find dealers near you, you can run diagnostics on your bike, and you can also go to their help center. But let's scroll back up because settings is what I want to check out. But what is nice about having access to your settings on the app is you can see the overall state of your settings on one screen, and the touchscreen is user-friendly. You don't have to hit a bunch of buttons and navigate through the display. So some of the settings you can change here are screen brightness, auto power off timeout, your unusual activity detection. You can set the sensitivity or turn it off altogether. You can also have the bike automatically lock that wheel lock when you turn off the bike. You can turn the alarm on and off. Let's see if I can trigger the alarm. There it is, not super loud. And I got the unusual activity notification right there. The bike comes shipped as a Class 2 e-bike, meaning the default max speed is 20 miles per hour, but you can bump it up to 28 miles per hour. You just have to agree to the speed upgrade disclosure and then just pump it up. You can set it to miles per hour or kilometers. You can change your assist level here. We'll get to ride tune in a second. update firmware, backup and restore, clear bike password. IoT service is where you can manage the 4G connectivity. And with that data package, you get 1 year for free. And then every year after that, it is $20 per year. So less than $2 a month for some peace of mind. Then security verification, you have transport mode if you want to bypass the security while you're traveling. And then geofencing and about my bike. We'll check out geofencing when we go for our ride, but let's go into Ride Tune. This is where you're going to customize your pedal assist modes. So you can customize all three. And what I'm going to do is just max everything out for turbo for our riding footage, just so we can see the full capabilities of the bike. But then down below, you can kind of see the balance of these three different adjustments: the max torque, the assistance, and the pedal response. But let's go ahead and apply it to our e-bike, and we'll go back. And then at the bottom of the screen, you can find your recorded rides next to the go button on the left. We'll tap on that. You can see it by day, month, year, or the entire time you've owned the bike. And to record those rides, you just hit go, which is that big yellow button in the middle, and then start. You can pause a ride, you can resume the ride, or you can end the ride. It's not going to let me save anything because I didn't go anywhere. In Discover, you can see what other Aventon riders are up to and share your own experiences with your bike. And then if you go to Me, this is where you can handle your account. You also can earn badges. That's kind of a gamification feature. You can also connect apps like health apps. And if you click the avatar next to your name, you can upload your picture and manage your profile details. So that's the app. There are settings you cannot change within the display. So if you want access to things like changing your top speed, the app is a necessity with this bike. But for all the customization and security features, it's well worth it if you are going to buy an Aventon bike. Then on the down tube is a 3-tone color scheme, Aventon branding, Pace up top, designed in California by Aventon, and Pace on the seat stays on both sides. And because the battery is now bottom mounted, we have 2 bottle cage mounts on the down tube. You can unlock it from a phone or through the display. So hold the pedal assist up and down buttons. And then the second option here is battery lock. We'll hit the power button, hit it one more time, and it will unlock it halfway. And then there's a handle up here, and if you push that in, that will drop it out. Just make sure you have a good grip on the battery. This battery has a capacity of 19.88 amp hours and an advertised range of up to 70 miles. It is UL2271 certified. The bike's electronics are UL2849 certified, and the bike overall has a water resistance rating of IPX4. And it does have a handle that doubles as the release when you remove the battery. And then on the bottom, you can check your battery charge quickly with these 5 LED lights. Just push the button. Got a full charge. And then the charging port is right on the battery cover. Has the dust port here. And the battery comes with a 4 amp charger, so you should be able to charge this battery in about 5 hours. And to install the battery, locate the terminals, slide that in first. Give it a squeeze. And because it has a keyless design, I know there's concerns. What if the battery dies? Will I be able to get my battery out? The Pace does keep reserve power, so even if you run the battery down all the way, you can still unlock the battery. You can always charge the battery right on the bike. And if all else fails, there is a third, more complicated way to remove the battery manually. We now have plastic pedals with reflectors and a suspension seat post from Zoom for some extra cushion for your cushion, and an Aventon branded wide comfort saddle. And down below is where the ACU is located. That enables all the 4G capability. And then a straight rear mounted kickstand. And this is the Pace 500 after all. So we have a 500 watt motor that peaks at 864 watts. And that motor, like all Aventon bikes, are paired with a torque sensor, a Shimano Altus derailleur, and then a Shimano Hyperglide cassette, 12 to 32 teeth, and a 48 tooth chainring. And with that, let's head to our riding destination to check out the performance and some of these features. I'll see you over there. All right, made it to our riding destination. We're going to test out the performance, and at the end I'll explore the geofencing with you just to see what happens if we ride outside our boundary. A couple things to note: it's about 50 degrees. I'm 200 pounds. We're going to start off with a throttle-only acceleration to 20 miles per hour. See if it can hold me at the max throttle speed. But I got a lot I want to cover, so let's get right into it. 3, 2, 1, throttle-only. Nice gentle takeoff. There's 10 miles per hour. This is about the windiest day I could do this on. There's 17, 18, 19, 20 on the display, 20 on the GPS, and it's holding me steady at that speed. So nice gradual acceleration, is smooth and controlled. All right, but let's explore what these riding modes feel like. I'm in Eco in first gear, and let's shift up. There we go. It's picking me up pretty nicely. We're at 13 miles per hour and I'm barely pushing on the pedals. There we go. 14, 15, going up a hill. So yeah, this bike has a torque sensor on it, which means the harder you push into the pedals, the more motor support you get. You can shift up here. I'm in 6th gear and very, very easy to cruise at 17 miles per hour. I currently have it set to 20 miles per hour. We'll boost things up to 28 miles per hour and test out the acceleration to the max speed in a little bit. But let me go ahead and push on the pedals a little bit more. And in Eco, moderate effort, no problem getting to 20 miles per hour. All right, let's reset. And our next mode is Sport. I'm in 3rd gear here. And that ramps me up a little bit quicker for sure. There we go. There's 18, 19 miles per hour on the display. I'm barely pedaling and we're already almost at max speed here. If I push in a tiny bit harder, there we go, max speed. And once the bike is coasting, I can go back to a pretty easy cadence and we're holding right at the top speed of the bike. So we'll reset one more time and let's start pedaling here. And this definitely ramps me up a lot faster. So no problem hitting the top speed in any of the assist levels. You're just really going to get better acceleration as you shift through it. And remember, I went into Ride Tune and I did max out the pedal assist for this mode, but I could pedal all day like this at 20 miles per hour with absolutely no effort. I'm in Wisconsin. We have notoriously bumpy roads and potholes. And what's actually really nice is the saddle with the combination of the suspension seat post is doing a good job of cushioning the bumps for me, because this has the rigid fork. There's no suspension on the front. And in general, I don't really love pogo style suspension seat posts, but this one seems to be doing a really good job of taking care of the bumps. All right, time to do our pedal assisted acceleration of 28. Let's boost things up. I fully agree to your speed upgrade disclosure. And there's 28 miles per hour. All right, let's do it. 3, 2, 1, pedal. There we go, 3rd gear. Already at 18, 19, 20. There's 25, 27. I got 28 on the display, 28 on the GPS. So yes, it will make it to the max speed. Let's go ahead and get into our hill climb test. All right, we're coming up on our hill. I'm going to start off with a throttle-only acceleration test. This puts the bike in its worst case scenario, no rider support. Now this is the hill that we test most of our e-bikes out on. And it always looks smaller than it actually is on the GPS, so we can put up a graphic so you can see what the hill actually looks like. We're just starting to hit the steep part of the hill, slowing down a little bit. There's 11 miles per hour. And I think I might have bottomed out here at about 11 miles per hour, which is actually a little better than I was expecting. I think what's interesting is this is a 36 volt system, but if you didn't tell me this wasn't a 48 volt system, I probably wouldn't notice the difference. And we're picking up speed again, made it to 12 miles per hour, about at the top. And there we go, the hill is rounding out and we're picking up speed pretty quick. No problems throttling to the top of the hill with a minimum speed of 11 miles per hour. Let's turn around and see how this bike pedals up the hill. We'll do a brake test on the hill on our way down. Woo, that wind. All right, we're picking up speed here. Usually like to get to about 28 miles per hour, and then we'll hit the brakes and see how we do. In 3, 2, 1, brake. So very solid braking performance from the Tektro hydraulic disc brakes. All right, let's turn it around. And I'm in first gear in pedal assist eco. And we're just getting to the steep part of the hill. I'm putting probably just below moderate effort into my legs. Very comfortable. Holding at about 9 miles per hour. I'm going to shift up and see where it starts to get uncomfortable. Then I'll go into our next riding mode. So second gear. Can see the motor starting to work a little harder. Let's go into third gear. And right there's where I'm starting to feel a pretty good burn in my legs. Let's go ahead and shift up into sport. All right, that swept me up really nicely. Can shift up. Let's shift up again, fifth gear. I can actually shift up one more time, sixth gear. And that's about where I'd maybe want to shift down. But holding me at 14, so pretty solid. Let's go to turbo. And here we go. Awesome, it's ripping through the hill. I'm in seventh gear. Just putting in moderate effort. Holding at 16, 17. So very impressive for the 500 watt motor to be able to carry my 200 pound bones up with no problem at all in all of the modes. So this is a very capable hill climber. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and set up a geofence because I think this will be a little bit more clear if you actually see what's going on. So let's go in here, let's edit our zone. All right. And it has me right there. Let's set up a little square. You have different patterns here that you can use. But we're just going to do a very small zone right where I'm at. And then I'll set it up right there. So when we get past the next street here, it should turn the bike off. Then we're going to hit the button at the bottom here, save. We'll call this zone 1, sure. All right, let's see what happens. And I'm pedaling along. I'm in bounds. And here we go. We're about to go out of bounds. Ooh, network anomaly. And I have an error on the screen. And no longer do I get any motor support at all. It's slowing me down. Exceeded the allowable area. Let's go back here. I'm going to edit this zone. Let's delete that. But yeah, really cool because you can just go into the map. You can zoom out, use it like Google Maps. Take these pins. You can drag them out to any shape that you want. Just like that. We'll save that one. Confirm. Now, that's the allowable area, but there's a tab here that you can click on for the restricted area. So if I edit this, add an area, I'm gonna be like, no, you can't ride by East Hill Drive. There you go, I'm allowed to ride again. So that is going to do it for the riding portion. Let's get into some third-person riding footage. I'll give you the pros and cons and my overall thoughts on all the new updates. I'll see you over there. Aventon continues to offer a premium look that rises above the competition, and the Pace 4 is no exception. And this can draw both good and bad attention to your e-bike. One of the most significant additions to the Pace 4 is Aventon's ACU system. Its 4G connectivity allows you to track the bike via GPS, set up custom geofences, remotely lock the wheel through the app, and receive notifications if the bike is tampered with. All of these are thoughtful security features that bring real peace of mind. The level of control offered by RideTune is another major highlight. Being able to independently adjust the torque, assistance, and response of the motor and torque sensor across 3 riding modes, whether you want a workout, a relaxed cruise, or maximum power for hills, is a fantastic level of personalization that really lets you ride your way. While the previous generation's swept-back handlebars were comfortable, the new BMX-style handlebars and smaller left-mounted display offer a cleaner look and make it incredibly easy to mount your phone and other accessories without sacrificing a comfortable riding posture. I appreciate the distraction-free aesthetic, but you can always use your phone and the app to enhance the display if needed. The overall ride feels incredibly natural and balanced thanks to the well-tuned and customizable torque sensor. It's stable enough to even take your hands off the handlebars when you ride. On flat terrain, the Pace 4 excels, and it had no problem climbing our big hill climb test with pedal support or throttle alone. The combination of the saddle and suspension Seatpost handled bumps surprisingly well for a bike with a rigid front fork. The keyless battery operation is a convenient upgrade as well, meaning you no longer have to carry a key around with you. Aventon has also smartly addressed concerns about a dead battery with reserve power, the ability to charge the battery while on the bike, and a manual removal option as a last resort. Plus, the excellent cable management in removing the keyhole enhances the bike's overall clean look. Even though I usually prefer top-mounted batteries for their ease of installation and removal, this is a well-executed design. And then you have Aventon's signature lighting system that boosts safety with extra visibility. And Aventon itself has a dealership network that's very extensive with over 1,800 bike shops, making finding a local shop for test rides and expert advice an option for many. And while there are a lot of great features, there are a few considerations to keep in mind. The bolt-on front wheel means you will need to carry a wrench with you if you get a flat. Also, while the security features are free for the first year, there is a subscription cost of $20 annually afterwards. Considering the data involved as a former employee of a cell phone company, the cost is more than reasonable for the benefits at less than $2 per month. The charging port moved to the underside of the frame, and that does make it more difficult to plug in if you want to charge the battery while it's on the bike. The brakes no longer have a motor cutoff, and that means the running taillight no longer brightens when braking, which some riders might miss. Additionally, the rear rack and fenders are not included and need to be purchased separately. If you opt for these accessories, this does bring the total cost above Aventon's Level 3, which boasts a more powerful motor and front suspension, though the Pace is lighter and easier to handle. Lastly, while the app unlocks a lot of customization, it does become necessary to adjust some settings like the speed override, as the display itself has limited options. And while your settings are remembered, having the choice of an on-bike adjustment would be preferable for some. What do you think of the Pace 4's new updates? Do you like the 4G connectivity and subscription-based services? Leave a comment down below. And if you are interested in picking up the Pace 4, you can support the channel by using our affiliate link down in the description to make your purchase. You can also scan the QR code on your screen for more information. And if you opt for the bike shop experience, send us an email. We can still get credit. I have an email address down below in the description as well. We truly appreciate your support. I think the updates to the Pace 4 represent a big leap forward, offering a wealth of new valuable features like enhanced security and a highly customizable ride experience, all while remaining under the $2,000 price point at $1,799. It definitely stands out against its predecessor and offers a compelling option in the current e-bike market. And that's going to do it for this review. Don't forget to subscribe. We have a lot more reviews like this one coming your way. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.